Okay, so what we're going to go into now is from the start we're going to go into movements, okay? So we need to know how to move when we're in a stance. We can't just stand here on one spot. Like I said in a previous thing, we have to move, otherwise you're going to get hit. It's a previous video, okay? So we've got to move. So when we move, it's very important that we keep our feet as close to the ground as possible, okay? They have to be as close to the ground as possible, because the higher your foot comes off the ground, the more chance you can lose balance, okay? The higher your feet come off the ground, I'm just going to raise one foot because I can't raise both, alright? You could lose balance. Somebody could push you over, somebody could pull you, you could slip, you could just fall over, lose balance, okay? So obviously if my foot's up here, there's more chance I'll lose. The higher it goes, the more chance I could lose balance. I've still got balance here, but I can very easily lose it, okay? So the lower I come down, the better I am, but I want my feet either on the ground, or if I have to move, okay, we want to, for example, let's say I wanted to turn this way behind me. You can see my feet. All I've got to do is turn my feet, okay? If I want, and I'm facing this way. If I want to face back the other way, all I've got to do is turn my feet, okay? So it's very quick and it's very simple. I'm back in stance. You want to be in stance as often as you can in a solid position, and you want to maintain a position of being in a stance. So from here to here, okay? Only takes a second to turn, right? You're here, right? Now, the other thing that we can do from just pivoting, all right, is if I wanted to face towards you, if I was facing this way and I wanted to face towards you here, if you watch my feet here, the front foot pivots this way, okay, goes from here to here, and the rear foot turns like a circular movement here. Alright, so now I'm facing you this way, okay? So again, from here, okay, from here, the front foot pivots and the rear foot turns to here. So for some reason, if I was turning and I got grabbed, I can lock in, whichever way it is. If the person's grabbing me from here and I'm turning and they're grabbing me here, I can lock in, okay, into whatever direction I need to face in. So we turn and we turn, okay, we pivot and turn. The next thing that we do is, if I'm doing it in a hurry, okay, not step by step, it's from here to here, okay, and we're back in a position of good solid stance. So if the person was to push you, you've got a good stance here, you can lock in. If you're going to hit, you can hit with power, okay, we're using our hips to hit, we're in a good position of power. We're not that ballerina on our feet trying to hit, alright, we're in a good solid stance. Again, if I wanted to face this way, okay, again, pivot, turn, okay. If I wanted to face back this way, pivot, and this way, turn, okay, turn, alright. So, we're constant, we can turn any direction we want to, okay. If I want to go this way, pivot the left foot, here, alright. If I want to go this way, pivot the left foot, turn. So at any time as you're doing your movement, you can lock into place. At any point you can lock into place. The other thing is, if you happen to hit something, imagine there's a chair behind me and I pivot and I go to turn and I hit something behind me, bang, I'm not going to go falling over and lose balance like I would if I was turning like this with my foot in the air, okay, and I hit something, I'm going to go. Okay, we don't want to be falling over things. So if you do hit something, and it happens, if you do hit something because you're in a bar or a pub or a nightclub or wherever, even a cafe or something, you hit a chair or a table, we don't want to be tumbling over and losing our balance. The stance is there to help us maintain that balance and keep that power. We lose our balance, all of a sudden we lose power temporarily, all right, until we can regain our balance back. Okay, other forms of movement. If we're moving forward, if we want to move forward, okay, we can shuffle forward. Okay, so all we're doing here, front foot forward first, rear foot follows, bang, into the next position, okay, like so. Alright, so going from here we can step forward. Okay, it's sort of like a skip. Okay, and when we're going backwards, it's the same thing. Okay, the rear foot is going back and the front foot is coming back with it. Rear foot, front foot, rear foot, front foot. Okay, so if you again hit something, you're not going to tumble over. You can lock your feet in, lock your legs in. The bend in the knees, lock in. Okay, it's like the roots of a tree locking into the ground. You're just locking in. Okay, obviously we don't have roots in the bottom of our feet, but we're locking our feet into the ground. Our body's locking in. Okay, okay, all right, we're locking in. Very important. Okay, other things that we can do. Okay, for movement. If we're trying to move forward and we don't want our left foot forward, we want our right foot forward. Some people like having their right foot forward. We can step. Okay, right. All we're doing is stepping. So the left foot turns slightly. Okay, what we call an incline, and the right foot comes through, bang, into place. Okay, same thing. Bang, left foot forward. Okay, here, left foot forward, right foot forward. And we're just stepping forward. Same thing, real simple, going backwards. If we want our right foot forward, we don't want our left foot leg forward, we come back, take a step. Come back, take a step. Come back, take a step. How are we doing it? We're sliding the foot just above the ground. Here, here, okay, sliding it, bang. Sliding it, bang. Now, it doesn't look like much when we're actually doing it here with our person that we're confronting, but when you're going through and doing techniques and you're using your movement, it's extremely important to maintain a stance. If you notice, everything we're doing there, we're maintaining a stance. If I wanted to step forward this way, I can also do like a thing here, like that, coming forward, okay? So we can do that as well, coming forward. Okay, here, it doesn't matter how you do it, okay, as long as you're moving forward and you're in a position where you can keep your stance. Okay, if you do bring your foot in here and then come out to here, you take the risk of getting to here and getting pushed, losing balance. Okay, better to just bring your foot straight in. Okay, but everyone to themselves. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask Teresa to come up and give me a hand just to help with direction, so it helps you to see the direction of movement. Okay, so imagine if I was here, Teresa was coming to shot Teresa, this is Teresa. Okay, so imagine Teresa's here, imagine I was facing this way. If I wanted to turn towards facing Teresa, it's just bang here, like so. Okay, if Teresa was over this side, if I wanted to face Teresa on that side, I can just come straight in like so. Okay, so because I've got left foot forward, okay, I can just come straight in, place that foot there and turn. Okay, right, or I could turn this way, but prefer to have this side down solid and go this way, away from your attacker. Okay, if I was here and Teresa was behind me, okay, I could just turn. Can't see that, but I would just stay there. I'd be from here, turn, okay? If she was on my left, okay, over here, I could turn my foot, swivel. If I need to go towards her, I can step towards her, back, back. If I wanted my right foot at the rear so I can do a kick, I can go this way. If I wanted my left foot back, at the back so I can do a kick with the left foot, I can come back, okay? So all the techniques we just did with movement is extremely important when we're confronted by an attacker. everybody has their preference as to which foot they have forward or which arms they have forward, okay? And so you can decide what you're going to do as you're going through technique. Now, as we're doing techniques, as you start to learn the techniques, we're going to be doing all of this in the techniques. For example, if she was grabbing me here, okay, if I was going to move around her, I might be stepping in, alright, so you can see this here. I'm stepping here, right, so there's the slide here, right. The next part of my foot movement, don't worry about the arms, but the foot movement, I'm pivoting the front foot here, and this rear foot is turning to here, right? And obviously do whatever you want with your arms. Okay, so again, I'm here like so. Let's imagine she's caught me unawares and I've got my feet sort of like this, okay? All I got to do is here, I'm stepping, okay, doing a shuffle, okay? From here now, I can turn my foot and round and bang down, okay? So we're always going into a stance and we're remaining in position of a stance. So yes, the foot movement looks a little bit, I don't know, blasé when you're doing just foot movement, but when you throw it into actually doing the techniques and everything else, it all starts coming together. If you forget about foot movement, keeping in a stance, and you forget about doing foot movement, what's going to happen is you're going to end up doing techniques like this. People do techniques and they'll move to here, and then they'll bring their foot in and they're not in a stance, and then they'll try to do this and they've got no power in their stance, because yes, they've got their balance, but they haven't got a good solid stance for power, okay? So they've got a little bit of, their balance is not too bad, but if somebody came and grabbed me from behind now and pulled me back, I'm going to lose balance. Whereas if I was like this and a person came in and grabbed me, I'm not going to lose balance, okay? It's going to be very hard for them to take my balance when I'm like this, okay? If somebody was pulling me back, I could start to drop and create weight into the balance to lock in more, okay? Even if they got me back, because it was a big strong person or whatever, they got me back here, I can then start to drive into them or whatever, okay? But the most important thing is trying to maintain our balance. Try to make it very difficult for other people to take our balance, okay? And by doing that, we must remain in a stance throughout the incident, throughout the conflict. We must remain in a stance. We must remain solid. We must maintain balance. It's extremely important. If you don't, you'll find yourself in trouble. On the flip side of the coin, what we're trying to do there is the other person that we're up against isn't maintaining a stance. They're not, hopefully not, doing correct movement where they're maintaining a stance throughout, okay? Alright, so that's really important. That way, if they're not doing these things, we have good opportunity to take their balance and take it very quickly, and we can win the fight through that. We can protect ourselves, we can protect others, okay? So that's movement. The next thing I'll probably go into is position. Alright, so I'll be back very quickly.